Hello and welcome back, all my fellow red-haired, grudge-holding slayers. We are in the Malakai Makaisson? Malakai Makaisson. I renamed him. But in any case, we're in the Malakai Makaisson campaign. You'll notice this is not where we were previously. It's all the way out at turn 30. And again, let me explain. There is new content. We all want to play with the new content. I understand you want to watch a campaign, and I am going to continue this campaign along with Elspeth. But I played ahead a little, and you might be like, Air, you played a lot ahead. Actually, like, it may look like a lot because I added some provinces, but I mean, I have never seen the Chaos Dwarves put up such a pathetic fight ever. It was like just orc laborers, and they got absolutely raffle stomped. Like, it was never even in contention, even in their best battle. And then the same thing with the leftover Skaven scum that were around, like, again, never in contention. And then Azazel came out, and I kicked his butt, and now he's running around kind of half-baked there. So in the meantime, I did a few things. I got an army for Thorgrim. So Thorgrim, remember, joined us. And someone mentioned, by the way, they said, do you need the, what do you call it? The Confederate Legendary Lords mod. I mean, if you look right here, so like Confederation of these lords like takes an absolute like crap load of stuff to confederate. So in any case, I mean, CC settled grudges, settled grudges. So it tells you like who's in the lead, I think, with settled grudges. In any case, it takes a lot of grudges for you to be able to start getting some of these guys. Could I leave it like that? Yeah, it could. But, you know, the mod was on, and, you know, we're just going to do it. We're just going to go with it. So I got Thorgrim. I've got him a master engineer in his army as well. And then in the meantime, I have been upgrading the airship. Obviously, we want to get some certain upgrades in the airship. The biggest one that we really want to get, whether it be in the airship or elsewhere, but in my opinion, I want this right here where we can get thunder barges. But that's going to come from this engineering chain building within the airship, which I'm going to need three additional population surplus. But hopefully we can build it sooner than that, possibly back over here at Crackadrak. Because I've started that tree, but we got to go all the way up to tier 5 at Crackadrak. We don't really have any growth buildings there at the moment, so we have the port. That's about it. But we have a long ways to go, I guess is what I'm saying. We got a long ways to go. I am gonna the extra. It's like a 50% increase of exotic animals if we go down that road, and that's a fairly valuable resource usually, if I remember right. I was about to invade Wintertooth, by the way, with Thorgrim. So the reason why I started here is because things were about to get interesting for a couple of reasons. One, I think we're doing some replenishment. It says mustering. What are we mustering? We're not actually training anything, so I don't know what mustering means here. But in any case, we're just in a standard stance there. We're going to replenish this army, and then we're going to fight this Malakai adventure battle. This is the one that I was working on where I needed to kill some Chaos Dwarves. And of course that happened. It just wasn't very exciting, unfortunately. Reload time reduction. I'm trying to think what I want to do with Malakai. I really want to get the Cinder Blast cluster bombs. And then I would like to maybe work on some of this blue tree to get Lightning Strike. But let's go ahead and... It says to unlock this, we need 4 skill points through here. So Always Ready is going to reduce reload time reduction. Bandolier is going to give him more ammunition. Hard to Hit, I think, is always the one you want to go with first. Because it's just going to keep them from taking as much damage. Causes fear. Hardened Adventure would be good. And let's see. Glorified Sentry gives him Guardian, which would be extremely... Enables charmed attacks. Ooh, that one's really good too. Man, there's some good ones in here. Guardian is pretty good. And then I think we'll do the Lethal Romancer there. We definitely want all of those. All right. Says we have a commandment available here. Let's go with the growth for now. Do I need this building? I don't think we need this building at the moment because I just don't need to recruit there. Let's tear that down and build something for growth. And I think that'll be it. Let's go ahead and end this turn. I'd love to hear from you all down in the comments, by the way. Are you getting excited for the DLC? Do you think that this is a move in the right direction? when you look at this, is it the type of thing you'd hope to see from CA, considering kind of the messy spot that we've been in, I think, as a community? So again, just curious to hear what you all say and what you think. Look at that. Azazel is back and apparently needs another beatdown. I have not declared war on Wintertooth yet, and so I may go up here and visit Azazel in my wrath and take care of him. So I think that's what we'll do. And then this army, we've got a quest battle over here. Oh no, that's our adventure battle. We are basically replenished here. I do have a single shotgun unit in this army. I would like to get more, but we'll see how it goes here. I'm gonna go ahead and move on into the Dreadquake Destruction battle. And we'll be fighting the Chaos Dwarf, so if you felt like you missed out, then here we are. Oh my gosh, that's 3 Dreadquakes and 2 more. And both of them are Skullcracker? Yeesh. Okay, yeah, when it says Dreadquake Destruction, they're not kidding. So I'll see you on the battlefield, and we'll see how much of us is less when all this is, or left, when everything's said and done.
Oh, we've caught him with his pants down. Run out of ammo, have you? Oh, what a shame! Now's our chance! Get the blasted front line! War machine ready! Ranged firepower ready! Slayers! The lair bless our aim! Dwarf warriors! HeirofCarthage! Bring them down! Malakai Makaisson! On it! Put your faith in dwarven ingenuity, resilience, and my inventions. Engineer!
All right, folks, the battle's underway. So they are out of ammunition in these Dreadquakes, but I would imagine it's not going to stay that way. So I'm going to try and take advantage of it while I can. So I've got my cannon firing away. I have my gyros headed in as well, but we have to be careful. They've got a fire glaive over here that it's going to absolutely rock my world. Oh, yeah, look at this over here. Sure enough, a supply train. All right, well, we don't want that to get here, so I'm going to take my gyros. I've got to pull away. Those fire glaives just knocked half health off me, and basically, or more than half health in a single volley. That's very fortuitous for them. Let's send Gotrek in here. I didn't really want these units involved in a melee. I wanted them to do some shooting first. But let's go ahead and get up here. Let's bring Felix up. And I'm gonna start rolling in some of my infantry. We're all blobbed up, which is very less than ideal here, but we don't want to give these guys any room to work. I'm worried my gyrocopters are gonna die. Just because we took so much damage there initially. I gotta get my missile units to hang back for a minute, so I'm gonna hang them back. I'm gonna charge forward with everything else. The Kadai destroyer is already in rough shape. But yeah, we can't get shot at by units if we charge them in melee, which is kind of my objective at the moment. I'm just gonna try and bully my way through, essentially. All right, we've got the Thunder Barge here as well, which I'm gonna send over here to kind of mess with that supply chain. We just got hurt by a Dreadquake mortar. I still don't understand that. Okay, let's shoot that thing with the lance. I think it aimed at the wrong unit. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, we hit it. All right, I'm gonna target that supply train, and I'm gonna target it with the gyros, and I'm just gonna keep the pressure on over here with the rest of my army. We've got these guys in a bit of a vice at the moment. They don't have any ammo, and we've put a lot of their army on the run. I'm just gonna keep charging on through here. Need to be careful with the friendly fire at this point, so you guys take it easy. Let's see if we can melt that sorcerer prophet with some of our melee. All right, I think we took the supply train out of commission. No, it's still there. It's just very, very weak. Okay, supply train dead. Now let's kill the remaining dreadquake mortars. I'm gonna put all my focus into them. That infernal Castellan, whatever you call him, the engineer. He's over there giving me a pretty good walloping, but we have shot up the main sorcerer prophet. So that is going to severely reduce the capability of the Chaos Dwarves here. Nice, and we already taken a good chunk out of this Skullcracker Dreadquake mortar. So that is also good news. Okay, yeah, let's just kind of keep pushing here. I'm going to keep pushing these units up. We're blobbed up really bad, so I'm going to push on through over here. And I'm going to take Gotrek over here to get after this Dreadquake mortar. They still have those Dreadquake mortars active, but if we can keep their attention over here where it doesn't belong rather than on my infantry, that's very much going to work to our favor. Now, I got an upgrade, by the way, on the Spirit of Grungni that allows it to stay in combat longer. So that's part of the reason why it's still here, and thank goodness, because it's critically important to us at the moment. There we go, we got one of the skull crackers, and we're gonna start on the other one. So we should have an easy finish of this battle. So this choke point is honestly really frustrating, but it's there on purpose. The purpose being, if you don't do something about those Dreadquake mortars, they're going to do something about you, whether you like it or not. And so that's part of the reason why you saw me just kind of bull rush through here like a complete nincompoop. Because it was that important that we not get caught in the line of fire of those Dreadquake mortars, especially at that point you'd have 5 of them. So we would not want any part of that fight whatsoever. That is amazing how the Dreadquake mortar is hurting my flying units. I had no idea it could pull that off. The Dreadquake mortars are just, I mean, obscenely powerful. Okay, we are mixed up with some of their Chaos Dwarf warriors, which are basically some of their last units on the battlefield. We've got this other Skullcracker cracked, and that's going to be it, folks. I think we are going to successfully complete the battle. They do have a single unit of Infernal Guard here that is routing, I think, yep, there we go. All right, we got a heroic victory there. I don't know how heroic it actually was, but, I mean, it was great to kill all those Dreadquakes before they did to me what Dreadquakes do best. I'm going to take the Oath Gold and cash, because we could use both at the moment. So we picked up Ulthar's Raiders and the Peak Gate Guard. We completed an adventure. And we've got the Glaive Gun now. So it's a bonus versus large at plus 15. That could be really handy. I think we have a special weapon already for Malakai, though. Yeah, Makaisson's Persuader. But we do have this other engineer character who could make use of that glaive gun. And that would be quite useful for him, actually. And we got a Helmet Discord of that, too. Let's go ahead and give him that. And then we picked up a Talisman of Endurance. I'll just go ahead and drop that there, too, to help Thorgrim's army. We'll kind of spread some of the wealth here into Thorgrim's army because it's not going to be quite as capable as my main army. So we're in a good shape here. Doom. We've got rats up here to the north of us, and I would imagine that they are going to declare war on us near any moment. Let's start moving up this way. We'll finish replenishing, and we've got some skill points to take care of here. Want that cluster bomb, and we are getting close to it. I mean, we could make his melee better, which again, not a bad idea. But I think we should focus on his
New stuff.
missile
New
damage.
ideas.
Okay, let's go with... Let's go with Unwavering. Or actually, yeah, Unwavering and then Scarred Veteran.
Innovator.
Got this to the bitter end, which replaces Blood Oath. This affects up to 2 allies with regeneration, which we definitely want. So let's go ahead and start. Let's do Lethal Romancer. And then for Kristen, I'm just going to give him better stats, so why not? And then Sweet Talker. Not a bad deal there either, but we need to get to the bitter end for sure. Okay. So, got some good skill points. This province needs some building here, so let's do some protection. Let's improve our iron output. Let's do this building to get some extra growth, and then let's throw some growth here. Actually, do I want to throw growth here? So I'll get really good growth out of this building. That's a plus 30, even as is. Let's go ahead and just put this one here to grab some extra control, corruption reduction, and just a tiny bit of extra trade there as we trade some Dwarven Ale. And let's take a look. All right, yeah, next turn we can move Thorgrim. And we don't have any money to recruit anything with Thorgrim. Azazel has attacked us. I don't know if we can win this. The auto-resolve says we can't, but I kind of feel like if we could kill Azazel, the rest of this army is not amazing. But the problem is he's going to like split up all over the place and make me split my forces too, but I don't know. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to try something here to defeat Azazel. I'm going to ignore one side of his forces. Now, we do have to be careful because there is a victory point on this map, meaning if they capture it, it'll just hand them a victory regardless of whether they deserve it. But I'm going to try and deploy all of my forces on this side of the map and see if we can essentially just cause extraordinary damage to Azazel and kill him off early. I'm going to move this guy back. I'm trying to get my Oilers to fire at some of his key targets. We're getting a few hits in the way I want to. Azazel landed. Well, he just took off again. I'm trying to get hits on that giant because killing that giant is going to be fairly critical for us. I'm going to actually go ahead and move these 3 Quarrelers back because Azazel's just tormenting them and getting lots of kills that I don't want him to get. I'm going to try and bury him in some Dwarf Warriors. Go ahead and move back here. Oilers did very well. A lot of their units are actually moving around over to here. Some are going to continue to assault the walls over there, and they will find some success in doing that. Again, we just can't let them take the critical capture points because that'll be what the AI is solely focused on. Unfortunately for me, though, I have to kill their entire army and rout it. But again, the siege battles in this game don't make any sense. So I'm the defender. I should have a distinct advantage, but I don't. I have a distinct disadvantage at having to defend like every point on the map, and all they have to do is sneak 1 unit past me to capture the stuff along the way. So I feel like that siege battles, I mean, we're supposed to have gotten better in Warhammer 3, and they just really didn't. In my opinion, they haven't improved to any significant degree for quite some time. It feels like, to me at least. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Azazel to be lasting against this many people in melee for that long. I'm trying to get these Quarrelers back here and open fire on him too, because he'll die relatively quick to Quarreler fire, but I mean, this is not going well so far. The auto-resolve said we would lose, and so far I am leaning towards believing it. We've already lost a victory point, which I think is just like the gates or something like that. Or no, yeah, it's just a tower up here. That's not that big of a deal. There's a Forsaken rolling through up there. Azazel is down on the ground now. The giant's down here too. I'm gonna try and finish mowing down Azazel. He's running away from my forces. These Marauders of Slaanesh are headed up here now too, though. Demonettes are gonna be really difficult to kill. Forsaken. I don't know what we're going to be able to do. Like I said, don't know that we're going to be able to win this. We did kill Azazel. And if we can take down this giant, anything we can do to start swinging the pendulum of power. The problem is there's going to be another Chaos Lord that came in, and I'm going to have to start falling some units back to guard the victory point, because as these units come through, they're just going to absolutely beeline it for victory point. Speaking of the victory point, see, I can't even block off the victory point. There's not even a good tower position covering the victory point in order to cause maximum damage. I mean, this is just poor design, and it doesn't get updated as the updates come out. And that's honestly getting really frustrating, and I want to see something change in that regard from CA. The siege battles aren't fun. They need to be changed. There was some effort put in this game to make them better, but it didn't really get finished or succeed entirely, and it just still leaves us in kind of an annoying limbo where, I mean, the siege battles are just not very impressive. That giant is going to come back from routing. I can't quite get him all the way dead, so that is going to be frustrating. I'm going to go ahead and start taking some quarrelers. It is going to be an exceptionally long journey back to start position. Okay, the giant died. I'm going to start fleeing some units back to the victory point. And I'm going to need to get as many units back here as I can. But the idea here was kill Azazel and then try and flee some troops back. I'm going to start firing a little bit over here too. Let's go ahead and pull some of these down. As these units come through the gates, I definitely would like to have some of my units fighting them. Need to kill these demonettes over here. Forsaken and demonettes are kind of a mess. There we go. Get all these quarrelers to expend that ammunition to cause as much damage as they can. Let's chase down this unit. Yeah, see, they are making their way into the city. I mean, they'll probably get to the victory point before I do, just because of the nature of them having fast-moving units, and I don't. Could build a barricade here to try and slow them down a little. But I have to build barricades on all of these to attempt that. I'm going to end up having to fight over here. My units aren't going to do well.
This is a reckoning.
I was hoping our armor would do us a little bit better here than it has. It's not doing great. Try and keep the grudge thrower. Yeah, at this point we're losing. And I don't think there's going to be much we can do about it. Yeah, see, now we're going to run into their units over here. See, they're able to just move through so quickly because, again, they don't have to beat all of my units. All they have to do is just get a capture point for a certain amount of time, and they win the battle. So see, again, you really actually kind of have an advantage as the attacker, because the enemy, as the defender, you have to spread and guard so many different positions, whereas the attacker, again, all you need is one unit to get through. So the way the AI plays here is smart in the sense that that's certainly the way to gain these victories. You might be like, well, what are you just mad because the AI is going to win? Well, I'm not necessarily mad because they're going to win. I'm mad because the way in which they can win is cheesy and stupid. Like in the sense that, I mean, we could have had traps. There could have been murder holes. Like there should have been places for me to deploy where as they're walking past my quarrelers, they can't get to them, but I'm shooting them. Like that is a disadvantage that the defenders should be, or sorry, the attackers should have to fight through. But see, like this nonsense here, not that we could beat their army anyway, but these dragon ogres are going to make their way to the back of the map way before I can stop them from doing so. And the towers, like again, look, I only get one tower back here, and it's way over here on the side where it can't even shoot anything when it's attempting to capture this point. Like, so you can't even get support fire. The design is awful on these siege maps. It is awful. And like, that's the only way to say it. Like, now you can disagree with me and feel free to do so and tell me why you disagree in the comments if you do. But to me, it's bad. Like it has no business being this way. It's just bad design and it needs to be updated. And quite frankly, in some way, I could see an argument where you say, stop making DLC and stop doing that stuff until you fix some of these basic things. Now, I don't know that they have to entirely stop, but at some point, I feel like it might need to get to that point where it's just kind of, if you're not going to take care of the basics, quit adding. Like, quit adding until you fix some of these things that And it's Total War. Siege battles should be fun. They should make sense. Anyway, I'm just going to let the rest of my troops die fighting here because we'll kill as much Azazel as we can. Fortunately for me, this settlement is not critical for me. And we can go get revenge on him here very shortly with Thorgrim. And this will hurt him bad enough, hopefully, that Castalton and my other allies nearby will be able to kind of do their thing and further punish Azazel for the nonsense here. So anyway, yeah, I'll see you all back on the campaign map once this is over, but we are definitely on the downhill side to defeat. All right, so we did at least wound Azazel. He'll be back in like a turn, like half a turn maybe. Like halfway through, he'll come back. But whatever, we wounded him. So we kind of took some revenge on him. And Thorgrim is not far behind, and he's going to pay those guys back some major wrath. Yeah, sorry I get a little bit frustrated with the rant there during the battle. It's partly frustration because like I have to lose the AI, which is frustrating, but it's also frustration in the sense that, again, the siege battles in this game are bad. They're not fun. Have you ever noticed that I rarely play them? It's because they're not fun. And so, how many of you, and be honest, like go in the comments, like how many of you skip siege battles sometimes? Because they're not fun. Because the maps aren't very well designed. So like right there, think about it. As the defender, I was totally at a disadvantage because I had to cover tons of ground. You might say, well, Air, there's places where you can fight in a choke point. I don't need to fight in a choke point. That's not how the dwarves are gonna do well. Fighting in the choke point's not gonna benefit me. I have no magic, so I can't dump a bunch of magic damage on them. The towers aren't really positioned to where if I take a choke point, the towers can wreck people. And then, like, you think about it as the AI, again, all they have to do is just get one unit around me somewhere. And CA has put in, like, 50 different ways where you can get to the victory point. So it's not like there's one road to the victory point and you can clog that road and put up an epic fight. You just can't do it. So that, to me, is frustrating because it shouldn't be that way. Like, again, if you had one place that you have to defend or else you lose the city, but you build 15 different roads to it. So that needs to be changed. Like, it needs to be changed. The dwarves fight with missiles. There should be murder hole places where you can place your missiles where melee troops can't easily get to them without having to go around and like into side streets while they're being shot. Stuff like that. I mean, the designs of the maps need to suit the faction who is defending them, and it needs to suit their strength. So it's going to take time. It's going to take map design. I really want to see something done on that front. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are going to feel like Total War never gets past where it should be. So again, if the year was 2005 or 4 or whatever it was when Rome Total War came out and siege battles were what they were, we kind of get it. It's hard to do more than that because technology only can go so far, right? It is now 2024. Computers have come a long way. Programming has come a long way. And Total War has been around since then. I kind of expect better in the siege battles at this point. Now, that again, that's why I skipped it. Is it breaking the game? Does it make me not want to play the game? No, because I still like the other battles a lot. Fortunately, the other battles are very fun and kind of keep me hooked. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I would like to see better. Okay, anyway, there we go. Rant over. Rant over. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we need to do next. We got Warriors Guild here. Is unit experience. Game for all infantry units. So we're going to take a look here. Veterans Pride. So Assembly Vines, Volatile. Let's go look back and look at guilds, see if there's something we want to go chase now. We're building up. I got 20 Oath Gold per turn. We need to improve that at some point. Attrition went under siege. Defensive supplies, storage vaults. That doesn't really do us much good because defensive supplies don't do us much good because they're just not particularly useful. Because again, what we just talked about with sieges. Deep resource extraction. This stuff could make us some more money over time. Resource Reducing buildings. Trade tariffs would be very nice, actually. The King's Share gets us extra oath gold. Is that 10 or 10%? Okay, 10%. So it won't be a lot of extra oath gold, but it'll give us some. Let's go ahead and do some work over here. Hopefully we can build up enough oath gold in time. I think we can. Okay, we're going to move that over there. Building upgrades are available. I was hoping to do some recruiting, but I stayed in the wrong stance with Thorgrim. I forget the underway stance. You can't do it, but we do have regiments renowned, actually, that we can pull in. He's got 17. We get the Brotherhood of Grimnir. That is going to be some major upkeep cost, but that is going to be an immensely powerful unit. So we want to throw them in. They also have the Grumbling Guard. We could grab Ulthar's Raiders. Those would pair nicely with those shotguns up front. So let's actually go Peak Gate Guard, Ulthar. There we go. That's going to take a whole bunch more of our money away, but you can imagine getting hit by Marked by Ulthar and then shot in the face by 3 Grudge Rakers. That's going to get ugly. Ugly in the way that I want it to. Alright, I want revenge with Thorgrim, so I'm going to actually move forward a little bit in an ambush stance so the enemy can't see me. And I'm hoping that they won't notice that I'm heading towards the Tower of Crack, and I'm just going to pull the rug out from underneath them once and for all. Kislev took over command of Fort Ostros, which is fine with me. They'll do better to help protect this area. I mean, it was a little bit of income that I would have liked to have had, but it wasn't the biggest deal in the world. Honestly, it would have been kind of tricksy if I would have just handed it off to Kislev right before we were going to get attacked. By the way, I've noticed that Daniel the Demon is pushing hard against Boris up here, so we're likely to lose Boris. Not surprising. He has an kind of impossible start to manage there. I kind of want to take... I want to go clean up this province right here, so at least we have kind of a stronghold to keep chaos at bay. I'm going to go ahead and work on that. Oh, hang on. Let's take a look at the airship. We probably have quite a bit of growth in it, so let's actually head into the airship encampment so that I can do some building. I don't have enough money on the end of this turn, but let's take a look at the airship on the end of the next turn. We made it through the turn end. Thorgrim was discovered, and unfortunately, Azazel's not back yet. I really want revenge on Azazel. I might slow down up here for a turn. I don't know how much garrison is it. The Tower Crack has a pretty big garrison. We don't really want to let them rebuild that garrison. Unfortunately, I can't use the Spirit of Grungni with this army, which is really quite too bad. They're going to steal the Brotherhood of Grimnir. Okay, no, you're not. So I'm going to retreat back from that. There will be no stealing of the Brotherhood of Grimnir.
I agree.
Now I'm stuck over here where I'm going to end up with attrition. Crap. Might hide there and just see if I get lucky. That's irritating the way that works. They can just take away my best unit like that. I forgot about that with Slaanesh. That is obscene. But, I mean, obscene is kind of what Slaanesh does best. So again, color me unsurprised. Alright, this is going to be held by the Skaven up here. And we all know how I feel about Skaven. I feel just about as good about them as I do the siege battles. So I need 8,000 to build the engineering workbench. So let's save some money. Just save our money. Let's go ahead and hit the Skaven before they can, spread all around us. So I'm going to go ahead and hit these guys. They're in a forced march, and they have a ton of grudges that can be settled. No, what are you doing that for? Attack. Declare war. There we go. Declare war. And give these guys the butt kicking that they so deserve. Skaven, meet us on the battlefield. I'm going to go ahead and go attack their warlord. He is presumably the most dangerous. Actually, we got those poison wind globadiers we got to dodge. Those are going to hurt us bad. We don't want that. We don't want any of that. I think there's night runners in there too. So let's keep a respectful distance away from those poison wind globadiers. We'll let my artillery start doing some work. In fact, we'll target those poison wind globadiers. Gyrocopters are going to be a little bit weak to those. Let's work the flanks with them a little bit. And then let's check out Malakai's range here. Punishes ammunition. I like it. All right, the cannon open fire. Has some decent hits. Nothing amazing. Like, none of these targets are super ideal. Ooh, here's a sneaky target over here. They got an assassin. Let's give him some steam gunning. Armor piercing won't make a huge difference there, but we'll go for it regardless. I don't really have a ton of range outside the cannon, or I guess like super effective range. Yeah, those Poison Wind Globadiers are trying to get me, but I'm going to stay out here and stick with this assassin. Try and keep damaging him, and then Malakai should be in range. I'm going to target their warlord here as well, and I'm going to do deranged munitions. Actually, I should have saved that for whenever Skaven were a little bit closer, but some of my units will get to use it here. The deranged munitions will give them a lot of extra damage here. There we go, and now we're going to get out here in front, and I'm going to do some body blocking with Gotrek and Felix to allow my guns to hopefully get extra kills. There goes the shotguns. We haven't really gotten to see them a lot yet, and then we got the Thunder Barge that can come out here as well. I'm going to charge some infantry forward to further hold the Skavens so that they can't get to my guns. My Slayer Pirates cleaned up some units on the flanks. Chased off the assassin for now. Let's fall back. And then I'm going to fall back over here, and I'm going to get this Doom Seeker. Woo, enemy lord got cooked. He got absolutely cooked. Presumably, yeah, Malakai killed him. And the Spirit of Grungni is absolutely devastating enemies. It's got 100 kills, even though it's just been here for a short period of time. I'm going to use the Thunder Burner here. Move around a little bit quicker, see if we can finish off these last few rats that are holed out. I would imagine that assassin probably came back from routing. We'll probably find him if I start moving in this direction. That's probably what's keeping the army from complete chain routing. He's going to be somewhere right around here, I think. We shall see. Yeah, there goes the chain route. There he is. Yep. I expected him to come back. And he did. All right, folks, I think that's going to be pretty much it. Let's use our, like, harpoon on the assassin. If we hit him with it, it's going to be hilarious. Oh, boy, did we ever. That's one dead rat. For those folks who have seen the gyrocopter brimstone guns and disagreed with me and said, hey, no, they're actually pretty good. They're like flying Iron Drakes now. They are not. This is what an Iron Drake does to people. This is not what those gyrocopters do. So those Iron Drakes didn't even get that many shots, and they killed so many rats. But yeah, in any case, I'm not a huge fan of where the gyrocopters are. Again, overall, not a huge concern of mine because the dwarves gained a tremendous amount of power this update. So I'm not concerned about the overall power sitting of the dwarves. In fact, if anything, they were probably made too powerful. But what I am concerned about is the like just kind of ruining a unit to where it's not fun anymore, right? So the brimstone guns were the only gyrocopter that really had a decent purpose, and now they made them useless. Again, someone might prove me wrong, we'll see, but that was a strange change in my opinion. But in any case, that is going to be it for this episode. We have got a lot to take care of. We need to get revenge on Azazel, which hopefully will come soon, but I don't know, I may have gotten ahead of myself and just created another grudging. We've got Skaven to kill. And we are working our way towards some fun upgrades where we can get more Thunder Barges, where we can get more shotguns, and we can just enjoy all the new units. Heir of Carthage, signing out. I'll see you soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 3.